And we're back. We are in the Hypertrophy Odyssey, chapter 24, I believe. Yes, 24. Today we are going to do Lower Body 1, aka Quadzilla. Yes, I will probably name the next episode Quadzilla because this episode is dedicated to something a little different, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Right now, I am off. I got a little bit of time. I got a little bit of a drive in front of me. I'm going to one of the gyms that I used to go to all the time. Why? Because it's by my brother's house. We used to go to the gym together. He moved, so we went to go to that gym near him. Still in LA Fitness, but it's like right by his house. I'm about to go there, do a workout, then go visit him for a little bit. Very excited. Haven't been to that gym since, I think the last time we went was, we went, was February 2020. So it's been technically about 4 years, give or take, a little bit, 3 years. 3 years and like 11 months. So I'm looking forward to going there again. It's been quite some time. So I've been to other LA Fitnesses in the area, so that has been kind of a cool part of the entire, like, being able to go to all of these different types of gyms, because there are a bunch in this area. But that one over there that I remember, I think it has the calf machine that I like, so I'm very looking forward to that. Happened to go on a lower body day, so it's happened to work perfectly. I'm looking forward to this workout. I'm very excited, very, very anxious. It's a rainy day outside, very cold and rainy. Not cold enough to be snow yet, but just cold and rainy. Cold rain, which is like not fun combination. Anyways, besides that, welcome to the workout briefing. I could talk to you about a couple things. One, I'm feeling all right. Legs are a little fine. Knee hurts a little bit, but nothing too crazy. I think I'll probably stretch it out. I think I'll be fine when I get there. It's probably the cold also not helping as well. But besides that, feeling good. Upper body sore from yesterday, from the Vulcan Raven day. But besides that, feeling great. Looking forward to seeing how Quadzilla is going to go for today. While eating my pre-workout breakfast, which consists of 2 rice cakes with cream cheese and protein bar. When eating the protein bar, it tasted disgusting at the end, so I had to spit it out, which is very weird because I never spit things out, but it was one of those moments where I was like, ugh. Hopefully it is not an omen for the day to come. Let's just say that. If it is, but anyways, yeah, it was disgusting at the end. I think it was just that protein bar. Thank God I got that one and not the wife, because she would have been like, I'm not eating these anymore, so okay. It was a pure protein, the chocolate peanut butter chunk one, or whatever the hell their peanut butter flavor is called. But anyways, so since we have a long drive in front of us, I think I want to get to the main subject of this video, because I talked about it in yesterday's video about how I wanted to talk about everything wrong with the fitness industry. And I was thinking about doing that, and I think I still am. That is a standalone video I feel that should be made on its own, because with points and stuff, possibly even a script, because I want to look over everything I say, because there's so many things that are wrong with it. You can go a lot of ways with that video, maybe like a top 10 list or something like that, something along those lines. And I think that it's one of those things that I'm like, all right, yeah, it's not good, but I think I want to talk about one thing in particular. I want to talk about particularly one thing that is the basis of most of the reason why I dislike all of the not all of the fitness industry, but a majority of mainstream fitness, because a majority of mainstream fitness is kind of trash. But that will be a discussion for another day. The main subject that I wanted to get to today was that programming is king, and that anybody else that says anything else is lying, charlatan, or doesn't understand lifting. And I think that's the main issue with mainstream fitness that I have, is the downplaying of programming. I understand why they downplay programming. It is something that is not sexy. There's only so many things you can go over a templated way like that has been established, obviously, without like a gimmick. There you go. So there is only so many ways you can do it. But the other thing is that once you have the knowledge of it, you're done. That's the other thing that pisses me off the most about it, is because they turn to things like supplements in order to sell things so they can consistently keep their fan bases buying something that is consumable. It's not like buying a t-shirt or buying something that you wear and like clothing or anything, but a consumable that they'll run out of and then they'll feel like they need more and be convinced by the influencer to buy more of BCAAs, when in reality they could just eat a chicken breast and get the exact same amount of CAAs in their system. So it's stuff like that where, for me personally, I find it really honestly disgusting when most influencers don't realize that all of the shit that they talk about is all for naught, because they're probably shit at programming, and that's why they usually have to hop on roids or other metabolics in order to try to get the physique that they want, but yet they're just so fucking, one, impatient, but that's a whole other discussion that I don't want to get into because patience is a whole thing. That's it's in itself an actual discussion. Inability to plan training properly is quite possibly the biggest part. The amount of people that I could see at the gym that are doing stuff, but what exactly are they following is very hard to tell. Like, I understand that a majority of people still do the bro split, and I understand why. But if I talk to someone and or you listen to an influencer and they say something along the lines of, yeah, I'm hitting shoulders today, immediately disregard what they are saying. That is someone who does not understand programming in the lightest bit and will honestly never get you any farther or result. Mostly because, one, they probably have drugs to help them out and recover, because nobody should be recovering from that volume. But two, no natural lifter, I should say, should be recovering from that volume. But two, also, when you ask them why they do be focusing on body parts, they will just say, oh yeah, because I get the pump and, you know, I like the feeling of destroying the muscle. Destroying the muscle, whilst good, at a certain point yields little to no results, and in fact can reduce result. If you train like an asshole, you're not going to get much result. It's simple. You know, most people don't realize that. Well, some people realize that, but others, a majority of them don't. Most splits work, so I'm not even necessarily dogging on the bro split. I like just anything, like, because I don't necessarily hate it, because it can be done well. But the issue with it is that people will propagate it as if it is the end all be all / there's no better way to do it, and they keep propagating it as if this is how I got this physique, when one, I hate using this term, but it's not the most optimal one, but two, it's just, it realistically it will lead to results, but in the hardest of ways. And that's why the stubbornness of not realizing that programming, once you understand it and get it, you could do anything to your body basically and it will work. But yet for some reason they feel the inclination to hop on gear and or lie about them being on gear, which is even worse. That's a whole other discussion on a different day as well. Think that it's the downplaying of what you do at the gym. If anybody, you ever hear somebody say, yeah, I just go to the gym and I just work out and see what I feel that day, they are probably taking something, or do not listen to them for any fitness advice whatsoever, because if they do not know what they're doing, they happen to get this body, they are completely useless in the fitness endeavor. They are just there to look good, which is another half of the industry, which is an issue, and that's it. They are literally eye candy. You are there, you are brainless and dumb with absolutely zero credibility and nothing but an airhead. Thank you for your time. You are the equivalent of a thirst trap on Instagram. Thank you very much. Thank you for your service. Thank you for ruining fitness, mainstream fitness, because Gen Pop is influenced by people like you, who's a fucking retard, and all of a sudden we get people who go to the gym who, instead of actually worrying about, oh, I'm gonna hit these things and I'm gonna PR, I'm going to stay within a rep range, blank. Fucking rep ranges are something that seems so foreign to some people, which is astonishing, because it just makes fucking sense once you look at it. I just don't understand why people don't do any research and instead stay in the little bit of a crevice that is mainstream fitness, which is just horrible, and get nowhere. They get no results and they get nowhere. They get sucked in by the bodies that they think they want to see, but in reality these people are also terrible at giving advice because there's nothing behind the brain. It's fucking empty words. The lights are on but no one's home type of effect. You actually talk to these people about programming and actual things about like lifting and stuff, they're gonna say the same generic shit. I bet you if you look at one of these people, I'm not gonna name names because I could name names, but if you look at these people and you say, what is the volume, frequency, and intensity on these, they'll think you're talking about the same fucking thing. It is ridiculous. These are all things that people who want to be big have to realize that on their own to make sure that they are doing it correctly and getting the best results that they possibly can. And also, a lot of this has to go with that I'm so thankful that I found the right corner of the fitness industry that could show me exactly what I need to do, all for free, and I don't need to rely on anybody or anything. And that's the other thing too. I'm not even necessarily mad if you rely on programs, like other people make programs, right? That's fine. That's okay. Like if you want to follow a program made by, like, let's say Bald Omni-Man or like Natural Hypertrophy, Basement Bodybuilding, you want to follow those programs, that's fine. The only issue is, one, when you're paying for it, because all of those guys have given their shit for free, all right? If they're good, they're giving it for free, including Bromley and a few other people like that. But if you're giving it for free, you are okay, because in my book, that is information that should be free. If you're paying for coaching, that should be more of a like accountability buddy or more than an actual coach. Now, sure, they can give you something customized and whatnot, but you should be able to do it on your own. It is not that hard to figure out, okay, I have lagging blank, blank, and blank. What exercises hit blank, blank, and blank? And then just going from there and then figuring out where to key it in and then changing it up if recovery isn't going well. It's as simple as that, but yet for some reason that is so foreign to certain people and I don't understand it. Or if they hide it behind paywalls. I'm not looking at anybody in particular, but that one's also disgusting as well. I find paying for a program to be something quite literally, I don't want to say it's disgusting, but it is right there next to selling supplements in the, why are you putting a price tag on something that is literally probably the same information that I can get somewhere else, one, and two, it's just information. It's not even it's not even customized. It's literally just, here's a template that I'm going to send you, please send me $40. You can find these for free that work probably better in so many other places. Why would you pay any money for this? And that's the other thing, is that people get suckered in by mainstream fitness to like buy and buy and buy and buy. And I am not talking about people who sell shirts and t-shirts and things like that. That is different. I'm not gonna, that's fine. I don't care. Like, that's wearable product in my mind is an okay product because you use it. I mean, there's no other way of describing it. If it's user-based use. So it's up to you. If you wear it, you don't wear it, that's fine. It's a give or take. They're trying to make money and it's all good. I'm not gonna front on that, but I'm not gonna name names again, but if certain mainstream fitness influencers that use their platform or videos just to sell supplements and nothing else, because it seems as though that's all they do in their videos, it's quite literally disgusting, one, and two, none of this shit really matters. Realistically, your 5 grams of creatine are all that really matter. After that, nothing else really matters. Everything is a very, 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 very low percentage use case based thing, and or useless. Straight up just fucking useless. Or even better, if it works, which is even great. There's one scientific study that says this one thing worked on one fucking rat. What the fuck does that even mean? You know, and that's a whole other issue between science-based lifting and regular lifting, but I don't want to get into that because that's already been done to death recently. I'm not going to put my words on that because there are others who are much more informed about that entire space that can give some actual input on it than I can. Maybe one day for a sit down and actually talk in front of the camera thing, but for right now, I'm not going to get into that. I don't necessarily love the science community, but I don't necessarily hate them either, because there are certain people like a Renaissance periodization who are doing well because they, you know what they're doing? Number one thing, programming. And that brings us back full circle. Programming is the king of all kings. It cannot be toppled. If the person you follow does not talk about programming at least a little bit, they are not a good influencer and they do not know much about fitness. And if they do and they're like, oh, we already talked about it, blah, blah, blah. No, programming is something that's always evolving and changing and something you are always learning about. It doesn't matter how advanced you are. If you're learning, you're going to change things up. It doesn't matter. And also, you're going to know more about programming and you're always going to be tweaking things left and right. The perfect program doesn't exist. As much as you would like to think it does, it doesn't. Why? Because people change, their bodies change, adaptations change. If they don't talk about it, always take everything else they say with a grain of salt. And I don't mean necessarily that it's every single person, but programming is such a huge, huge thing that people do not realize is probably the most important. It is like 90 90% of what you do at the gym. 5% is diet, 5% is recovery. That's it. Everything else is all at the gym. I would probably say 80-10-10, really. But it doesn't matter if you're under recovered, which happens. If you're not doing enough at the gym to warrant the recovery, it doesn't even matter. And then if you're not doing everything in your diet, whether to cut or bulk or whatever, it doesn't necessarily even matter if you're not doing anything at the gym. If I'm lifting lightweight the entire time and also let's say I'm bulking, I'm not going to get anywhere. This has been established, but yet people want to think that, oh, the diet is all that matters. My favorite thing is the abs. I train abs because why? Because I understand that they're like any muscle, any other muscle. They have to be trained in order to get bigger, and in order to get bigger, they can peek through all the stomach fat that I have, and thus I don't have to get as skinny as I would have to if I didn't train them at all. But yet this isn't something that is talked about very often, because for some reason they want people to just diet down and be like 160 or 150 to see abs, which is ridiculous because you can just grow them. Not everybody has the ab genetics. I understand that, and I don't want to talk about genetics because that's another discussion. There's a lot of discussions that I can go off of from here, but I'm about to get to this gym. So what I want to say is this: programming is king. If you listen to an influencer and they do not talk about programming in at least a little bit, if they go like 6 videos and they don't discuss anything about what they're doing, anything about their rep ranges, their sets, nothing like that. If they do not discuss anything like that, stop following them. They are useless in providing knowledge, and most likely and more likely than not, they are waiting to gather enough of an audience in order to sell you some bullshit that does not matter in the slightest at all. So be wary of that. And with that being said, let's get to the workout.
Alright, so at this gym, my goodness, was I in for a treat. Since the last time I'd been there was February 2020 was the last time I was here. They must have done some renovations, because I went into the locker room and then I came out, saw they had a turf area, and I was like, oh snap, this is new. Saw some colored plates and I was like, oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Then I went into the back where the squat racks, because there were only 2 before, and I was like, heaven, the gates of heaven opened up. 6 squat racks back to back to back to back. It was amazing. I love this gym, and I'm so glad I have access to this place. This bar felt super nice. These weights were super nice. Didn't need any safeties or anything for them. They stayed on that bar like there was no tomorrow. This gym was amazing. I don't know why something like colored plates and like the platform and everything like that just makes this feel so much more legitimate than previous other gyms, I guess. This is like, I feel like I'm going now to like a real lifter's gym or something, even though it's not necessarily a lifter's gym. It's just a regular commercial gym, but yet seeing this makes me so happy. One, have access to this, but 2, also that these are just becoming installations in most gyms now because of the popularity in like powerlifting and CrossFit and all this other stuff. It is so great. Like here for RDLs, I was very surprised at how stable the weight stayed when I do my takeout, because there are times when I take out the weight without any clips and it shakes a lot, like it'll move a lot, but here nothing, stayed on. These plates were amazing. The bar felt amazing. This was so good. Loved the safeties. It was easy to place where I needed it to be. It was great beyond belief. I really did love this gym. And the worst part about it is that I didn't even get to explore it. I had to cut this workout a little short because I only had an hour to be here, so I didn't get a chance to really do what I wanted to do. It really bums me out, but at the same time I could just come back, so I have an excuse to go to my brother's house and be like, hey, I'm gonna go to your house after I finish with this 3-hour workout. But I'm so shocked. And here you'll see me do some pull-ups. Like, during my second squat set, I looked up and I was like, oh my god, there's pull-up bars here. So I just like, oh, I can sneak these in because I knew my time was running out, so that way I could get some more work in. Even though it was neutral grip, I was like, whatever, this works. My rear left delt didn't hurt while doing these. So something must be going right with the delt work. And also I can go back to neutral grip, but changing it up with the other 45-degree neutral grip has been pretty good so far. I think this gym, I'm so happy that I can go to it, because it is probably one of the best. And I'll say this, because of these racks, it makes it superior than the quote signature one that they have in another location. The signature one, the signature LA Fitness, I should say, is supposed to be like their top of the line, end all be all, best of. This one I feel like is superior, honestly. Although the other one I think has more machines, but I can't even tell you that because I didn't get a chance to check it out. This calf machine was great too. I didn't think it would be that great, but I liked this one a lot more than the other one I have at the gym because of the rubber at the bottom of my feet. It felt so much better. I really enjoyed doing this, and it felt so much better. I did like this one a lot more. It didn't hurt my feet, and I felt it way more in my calves, since the platform where my feet go were actually flat and also rubberized, so there was a little bit of give instead of the metal that's like curved. This one felt so much better, and my calves were on fire afterwards. Definitely great. And to go back a little bit to talk about the programming is king part, I understand why influencers don't really discuss it that much, in that it's not the sexy thing. And I want to talk a little bit more about that, in that it sucks that it's not the sexy thing, but it is probably the most effective thing to talk about. NH, or National Hypertrophy, does. He'll do different programs based off of characters or certain physiques that you may or may not want, and that type of stuff. And that's genuine content that I'm surprised that more people don't jump on, because, you know, that is something that is an easy market even for the jet and pop. It's such free real estate for ideas, but yet it isn't being utilized at all. So who knows why that doesn't happen. We'll have to wait and see it when mainstream fitness starts running out of ideas and products to sell. They'll finally start going into the realms of what they really should be talking about. But I don't necessarily hate all of mainstream fitness, I just dislike a lot of it.
All right, welcome to the very brief workout debriefing. I will have probably already spent the video gushing about this gym, so I'll say that. I will say that was a very nice gym. I want to go back. There's so much more that I didn't get to explore, so definitely have to come back here, do another workout without a doubt as well. Right now I'm about to go to brother's house, get some food, hang out for a little bit, and then I wanted to talk about, before I go, just a little bit, body feels good. Left knee got a little tweaked on one of the squats, so it's not feeling too hot. I think I might have to lighten the load a little bit. No, actually I'll probably just stay at the same weight and then just see if it was just one of those things where it was just a tweak, or like if it's a consistent thing. Friday will probably tell me exactly what I need to know, but I think it's just a little bit like, it's feeling fine right now, but it feels like a little like, you know, it's one of those like, maybe I just did a squat a little bit too off or too wrong or something, or just a little too much load, who knows. Besides that, I will sing the praises of this gym like there's no tomorrow. Very happy that I have access to this gym. It's a little farther away than I thought it would be. But anyways, there's a recording studio here. What the hell? Whilst in there, I didn't really have a chance to think of anything. It was more of a getting the work done. Actually, speaking about that, I didn't get my full workout in, which is kind of annoying, but also not that annoying because I got the big movers in. So that's all that really matters, in a couple of sets of a couple other things. The one thing I didn't do at all was abs, which I'm thinking about. I'm going to probably put in a set somewhere on Thursday's workout just to get them in. It shouldn't affect me too bad on Friday because they'll just do them again. So it's one of those things that you can probably train. You don't have to necessarily train back to back. Probably shouldn't in theory, but you could, because they are smaller muscles, so they should be able to recover relatively quickly. For the compounds that day, I don't necessarily need my abs to be the freshest, so I should be good to go. So I'm just going to add those on Thursday because I don't want to go down on the volume on that since I skipped it today. It's not like before where I did them all times a week where I can kind of get away with not doing it once and then I'd still get 6 sets of them. Now I have to replace them, whatever I don't do in somewhere else. So like forearm work I might end up actually doing tomorrow after I do cardio. I think I'm gonna do the rice bucket. It's been a while since I've done it. The garage is cold, okay? I don't want to go in there and work out, although I could just bring the bucket into a living room, but still I don't want to get rice all over the floor just in case. That's why I do do it in the garage. But anyway, that's for another discussion for another day, another dollar, another, I'd buy that for $1. Anyways, I will be back tomorrow or whatever day I get released this, and then I hopefully have a video right after. But I will be back. I will see you there, probably in the usual spot, nothing a little too crazy. I will have more content because that earlier like thing that I went off on, like I've still got so many video ideas just from that. So I'll see you for those. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, comment something. I don't know, anything. It doesn't matter. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.